Colorful lights rapidly flash in a dark room as video game sounds play throughout the night. The player is focused on only one thing, finishing the objective, no matter how long it takes. Their fingers slam the controls, their eyes dart across the screen, and with energy drinks, they are as alert as ever. Suddenly, in the middle of the game, an alarm grabs their attention. Apparently they had played for an entire day without any sleep. But the game was still unfinished, and no amount of sleep would stop this player from winning. Within 24 hours of being awake, normal gameplay became difficult. Despite the player's skill, enemies couldn't be dodged, information couldn't be remembered, and during boss battles, they couldn't concentrate. Sometimes they would even run into a mob of enemies without caring at all. A day without sleep, in fact, is similar to being too drunk to drive. With the overwhelming feeling of fatigue and stress, their progress became frustratingly slow. As a result, their mind entered a local sleep mode, which turned off regions of the brain to save energy. But what if the player compensated with the alertness and focus from energy drinks? From the outside, they would appear to be fully awake. However, their ability to do complex tasks like gaming would only worsen. Still, these problems weren't too bad, so the player continued his progress and stayed awake for the next few days. Suddenly, the player became even more determined. For brief moments, bursts of energy, alertness, and euphoria fueled their motivation. They felt so amazing that not even sleep was able to stop them. But, just as quickly, anxiety and depression took over. No progress could be made at this point. Enemies couldn't be killed at all, character movements couldn't be coordinated, and the player had no idea what to do next. It wasn't just video games either. Their thoughts became disordered, and they couldn't speak properly. Their vision became distorted as images would blur in and out. Their body appeared to move on its own, and without warning, they fell unconscious for up to 30 seconds, with their eyes still open. If they had been driving a car, they would quickly lose control and crash to their death. No matter how dedicated they were to games, their concentration, memory, and energy would be so drained that sleep would be the only thing on their mind. Even if they had been starved in a frozen winter, their desire to sleep would still be stronger. There is a point, however, when the sleepless mind begins to lose all sense of reality. Past the 5th day, everything warps into a psychotic episode. Sounds are heard from random places. Dogs bark in a bathroom. Voices whisper everywhere. And hearing becomes distorted. Odd sensations are felt. Body parts feel larger. Temperatures feel intense. And touching comes from nowhere. Rooms grow larger. Stationary objects move on their own. And colors turn darker. Then, hallucinations become indistinguishable from what is real. Dolls become people. Abstract shapes spawn. And parts of the world disappear out of thin air. Eventually, paranoid delusions take over the mind to reason with these crazy changes. It could be aliens from outer space, secret agents of the Illuminati, or the beginnings of an apocalypse. As a result, sleep deprivation has been used as torture during wartime. But how long could this waking nightmare last? It is unclear how long a person can survive without sleep, but the world record was set at just over 11 days. The imagination may be limitless, but without sleep, the mind can turn everything dark very quickly. In most cases of extreme sleep deprivation, a good night's rest is enough to fully recover without long-term problems. Clearly, sleep is very important for mental and physical health. With the unexplored limits of the human mind, however, sleep is just one among many things that evoke infinite wonder. We hope you enjoyed our look into the effects of sleep deprivation. How long do you think humans could survive without sleep? Share your thoughts, suggestions, and questions in the comments below. Interesting new content like this is uploaded every week, so be sure to like and subscribe to see more of Infinite Wonder.